afternoon and welcome to Live at 4 on this Wednesday afternoon. Busy day in the news department as usual.
Let's get right to it.
Yeah, let's do so. Here's what's making news. A dramatic day in Washington as the U.S. ambassador to the EU testifies during the public impeachment hearings.
The latest Marquette Law School poll was released today. It shows how Wisconsinites are responding to the impeachment hearings.
And a local organization is distributing thousands of turkeys and all the fixings ahead of Thanksgiving to those in need.
Let's take a look outside today. Wow, it was so foggy this morning.
Yeah, it was a foggy start to the day.
Nice and mild today. It feels great outside.
Almost like spring, but rain is coming. Windy and wet, the weather words. Dana is in the backyard. When is the rain going to start?
We're going to hold off for a few more hours. The rest of your evening, at least, is going to stay dry. As we've been watching our WISC-TV sky cam for the last few hours, we've had a few pockets of sunshine pop through, but overall a very overcast day. This cloud coverage not bringing any rain right now. But temperature-wise, we're actually above average currently for the first time all month. 45 right now in Madison, 48 in Janesville. My producer just said it almost feels like summer outside compared to the last few weeks. Now, the rain chances will start to develop around midnight. They'll stay through the morning for your morning commute because temperatures will be in the 40s. We are just talking about showers, no snow expected to develop. And then temperatures for tomorrow morning, I think you're going to like how high they will climb. We'll look at your forecast, though, in just a few minutes. Right now on the roads, no major delays along the Beltline. It's always good news. Let's look at Park Street. Things start to slow down on the eastbound side just once you get past Park Street and then start to pick back up again by John Nolan. 39 should be smooth all the way to the state line, and Janesville actually looks okay. Not seeing much traffic on the roads currently. 25 minutes to get from Janesville to the Beltline, 17 from Sauk City to Milton, and about 16 minutes this evening from Sun Prairie to downtown. That's a quick look at traffic.
Yes, it does feel very nice outside for a change.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dana. First at 4, it's a pivotal day in the impeachment inquiry.
Today, one of President Trump's top diplomats confirmed to lawmakers that there was a quid pro quo involving the president and Ukraine. Nicole Killian is on Capitol Hill with the closely watched testimony.
I will begin by swearing you in.
Ambassador to the European Union Gordon Sondland opened his testimony by confirming a visit to the White House by Ukraine's president was contingent on the country announcing a public investigation into a company associated with the Bidens and 2016 election interference.
Was there a quid pro quo? The answer is yes.
Sondland said he later presumed millions of dollars in U.S. military assistance was also a condition, though he made clear the president never told him explicitly.
President Trump never told me directly that the aid was conditioned on the meetings.
But lawmakers pressed Sondland on a text exchange he had with the top diplomat in Ukraine, Bill Taylor. At that time, he claimed the president told him in a phone call, no quid pro quo.
I just said, what do you want from Ukraine? I may have even used a 4-letter word. And he said, I want nothing. I want no quid pro quo.
A point President Trump also emphasized.
I want nothing. I want nothing. I want no quid pro quo. Tell Zelensky, President Zelensky, to do the right thing.
Sondland testified he worked at the express direction of the president with his personal lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, who was a key player in the pressure campaign. And he said it was no secret, explaining that other top administration officials from the vice president to the Secretary of State knew what was going on.
I didn't see the testimony. I'm not going to recuse myself.
Secretary of State Mike Pompeo dodged questions about Sondland, while Vice President Mike Pence's office disputed Sondland discussed the situation with Pence.
Vice President Pence just nodded his head.
I don't recall any exchange or where he asked me any questions. I think it was sort of a duly noted.
He didn't say, what investigations?
He did not.
A second round of hearings continues with 2 more witnesses. Nicole Killian, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
The president's personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani, also weighed in on Twitter, saying he had little contact with Ambassador Sondland. The latest Marquette Law School poll looked at how Wisconsin voters feel about the proceedings in Washington.
800 voters were polled during the first few days of the impeachment hearings. Eric Franke reveals the numbers for us now. Eric?
Yeah, and that is an important disclaimer, Mark. It doesn't take into account anything that was said this week during the impeachment inquiry. Among those polled last week, though, the support for impeachment and removal is down a bit in that Marquette Law School poll from 44% last month to 40% this month. 53% now say they do not support impeachment. That's up from 51% in October. Poll director Charles Franklin does stress, however, those numbers are within the margin of error of 4.1%. Also something that has has changed since October, polling hypothetical head-to-head matchups with Democrats. The president trailed all of the leading Democrats last month. Now he leads them, including Joe Biden, by that margin, 47-44. Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders, the margin 48-45 in favor of President Trump. Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren, 48-43. And South Bend, Indiana Mayor Pete Buttigieg by a more commanding 47-39%. Again, all interesting numbers given Wisconsin's projected swing state status in 2020. We'll post the complete poll results that include some numbers on Governor Evers as far as his favorability is concerned and state lawmakers. It's on our website, channel3000.com. Market, Susan.
Charles Franklin will be on the show tomorrow to go over some more numbers.
Yeah, a lot of work he put into this. He looks like he's going to keep doing these for a while. Yep. So it'll be interesting to hear what he has to say.
Things heating up. Yep. Thanks, Eric.
Thank you, Eric. 10 presidential hopefuls are facing off in the 5th Democratic presidential debate tonight. The stage is set at Tyler Perry's new studio in Atlanta for tonight's debate, which comes less than 11 weeks from the Iowa caucuses. This time around, it's Mayor Pete Buttigieg who enters with new momentum in the polls. Former Vice President Joe Biden, Senators Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders remain at the top of the field.
Well, Georgia wants to hear about jobs. They want to hear about education reform. Biggest challenge with
Political analyst Rashad Ritchie, former chief strategist for the Democratic Party of Georgia, says the location of this latest debate is no accident. The state has not chosen a Democrat for president since Bill Clinton in 1992, but some key suburbs around Atlanta have been trending blue. The debate starts at 8 o'clock tonight on MSNBC.
And while those impeachment hearings continue in Washington, Vice President Pence is in Wisconsin. Mike Pence toured a shipyard in Marinette today. The shipyard contributes to the construction of U.S. Navy ships. He told workers that while Democrats are spending all their time on impeachment rather than funding national defense initiatives, President Trump is trying to increase military spending.
I'm proud to report to all of you that we are well on our way to the 350-ship Navy that President Trump promised.
He also urged the crowd to pressure Democrats into passing Trump's trade deal with Mexico and Canada. A state Democratic Party spokesman called the Trump administration a disaster for working people and hasn't addressed any of their issues, such as health care and prescription drug costs. Well, the Goodman Community Center on Madison's east side is preparing to pack up thousands of Thanksgiving baskets, making sure families do not go hungry this holiday.
Danica Lewis is here with how we can all help and why we should all consider it if we can. Danica?
Well, I was thinking about this effort as we were eating our Thanksgiving lunch today, thanks to News 3 Now, and we are a proud partner of this effort. This need is only growing. Every week, the food pantry serves hundreds of people, but for the first time this year, Goodman will be distributing nearly 4,000 baskets with turkey and all the fixings. And that's about 500 more baskets than in recent years, and it's more than the food that matters.
People come to pick up their Thanksgiving basket. There are 600, 700 volunteers over the course of this program who are here to help. Everybody lives here. They're all members of the community. They're all stepping up to help other people who they don't know. And you can see it in the people's faces when they come, how much that means.
About half of the 23,000 Dane County residents these baskets will help are children. The distribution starts this weekend, but there is still time to help if you can. The biggest needs are, well, turkeys, top of the list. Goodman is also accepting canned veggies and fruit, broth, stuffing, roaster pans, basically everything you need for a Thanksgiving dinner. Monetary donations also make a big difference. Goodman has relationships with food banks and grocers in the area. That allows them to stretch each dollar much farther than you and I can. So back to those monetary donations, though, $70 can cover an entire Thanksgiving meal. You'll want to tune in at 5 to hear more from a longtime pantry goer named Ward Harding, who can attest to the fact that that place is way more than just food.
It sure is. Danica, thank you.
Sure. Thank you, Danica. There's more to come at 4. The nominations for this year's Grammy Awards were announced today.
And Lizzo leads the pack. We'll have all the top nominations when Live at 4 continues.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
Welcome back. Opioid overdoses kill more than 130 people every day.
And as healthcare providers and scientists search for solutions to save lives, a Boston tech company is being recognized for a new app that provides financial incentives to users who stay off drugs. When Joy Thompson shares how long she's been in recovery and off the painkillers that derailed her life, she can't help but smile. She credits much of her recent success to the app on her phone developed by DynamyCare Health. It holds her accountable with random breathalyzer and drug tests. Results are immediate. The testing is monitored by video, and Thompson is rewarded with up to $200 per month for not using, working, and attending meetings.
The reward of pulling out my phone and saying to my daughter, look.
Because you can look right there at your history, and it pulls it up and it says successful, successful, successful.
Over and over again.
Family members, friends, insurance companies, and employers can cover the incentive payments for users. Recently, DynamyCare was awarded $1 million for its innovation as part of the Opioid Technology Challenge. Stocks fell today on concerns of a delay in the U.S.-China trade deal. The Dow Industrials lost 112 points, ending the day at 27,821. The Nasdaq gave up almost 44, and the S&P 500 was down 11. Well, the nods are in for this year's Grammys, and singer and rapper Lizzo is at the top of the heap.
The nominations for the 62nd Grammy Awards were presented at the CBS studios in New York, and Tom Hansen was there.
We just keep it pushing like aye. Lizzo's song, Truth Hurts, must have felt pretty good, helping her nab 8 Grammy nominations, including Record, Album, and Song of the Year. Riding on a horse. Lil Nas X was nominated 6 times, as was Billie Eilish.
I'm the bad guy. Duh.
The 17-year-old is the youngest artist in the history of the Grammys to earn nominations in the top 4 categories. Alicia Keys will host the evening for the 2nd time. Keys had said one time was enough, but in an interview with CBS This Morning's Gayle King, she explained her change of heart.
It's almost like a marathon. You know, you kind of run a marathon one time, and then you said, I did it. And, but in actuality, I ran another marathon, and then now I'm doing another Grammys hosting. Let's go! Yeah.
Alicia Keys is familiar to the Grammys, winning many herself, and this time around, she joins the ranks of Ellen DeGeneres and Rosie O'Donnell, becoming just the 3rd woman ever to host the Grammys more than once. Singer Bebe Rexha was also on hand to announce nominees. She knows firsthand how big this day is for the artists.
There's gonna be a lot of tears, a lot of tissues. I think it's just excitement.
Recording Academy President Deborah Dugan says this year there's plenty of girl power.
Women are unapologetically themselves and have a voice that needs to be heard.
And last year, former First Lady Michelle Obama was a surprise guest on the Grammys. This year, she's a nominee for Best Spoken Word Album for the audio version of her memoir, Becoming. Tom Hansen, CBS News, New York.
Some critics point out that while Taylor Swift and Beyonce received nods, they were both snubbed in the Album of the Year category.
The star-studded show is set to air on CBS January 26th.
There's more to come at 4 when we come back. A full look at your First Alert forecast.
And tonight at 5, with considerable expected growth in Dane County, an advocacy group is pushing for more attainable housing as one municipality plans for the future. That's at 5. Take a look at this. A deputy is off the job after a wild crash in North Carolina. You can see the deputy's SUV coming around the curve with lights flashing. That's when the deputy loses control, flies off the road, and slams into several cars outside a dealership. The impact is so strong, it knocks a car back into the building, and part of the building collapses and falls on the car. No one was injured in the crash.
Boy, thank goodness. Looks like a movie scene, doesn't it?
Yeah. Slow down.
Watching that building buckle, too. That was wild.
And there was a guy inside the building, too.
Oh, goodness. Can you imagine?
I always think about the people who walk out to get in their car and think, wait a minute, I just went in to get some coffee. Yeah.
It's just there.
All right, some rain on the way.
Some rain on the way. Good coffee morning tomorrow. It's going to be a little warmer in the morning, but that's going to come along with some showers on our next system coming on through. We're mostly cloudy this evening. The rain chance is still a few hours away. We'll take a closer look, though, at what's ahead for the next 24 hours right after the break. We started with the fog this morning and then a mostly cloudy sky throughout the day. Looking at our visible cloud track right now, you can see that cloud coverage throughout southern Wisconsin. Now we are getting a few breaks in that cloud coverage. That's the good news, especially with sunset about 20 minutes away. If we can get it breaking up just a little more, might get some really pretty colors for sunset. Now this isn't our official almanac for the day just yet, but I wanted to show you that as far as our afternoon highs go, right now we're at 45. That is above average. We haven't been there for quite some time. So to see the 40s, fantastic. To be above average, not too bad for this afternoon. Now, overnight temperatures are actually going to climb a little bit. With this cloudy sky, we don't have any rain coming through currently, but the closer we get to midnight, the more our rain chances are really going to pick on up. So again, mostly cloudy overnight. Heading to about midnight, we start to see some light showers. It's going to be pretty windy outside. This system bringing a strong breeze from the south. The moment some heavy rain mixed on in there too. This isn't just going to be a light drizzle event. Scattered showers expected into Thursday morning. likely still falling during your morning commute, especially for areas east of Dane County. That breeze continues throughout the morning. I should say the windy conditions continue throughout the morning. Showers still likely during much of the morning. It's really not till the afternoon that rain starts to taper off. Notice the big shift in our wind direction as that rain passes. Still very cloudy outside, but with a breeze from the northwest for Thursday evening, our temps are going to fall, and it's going to be much cooler outside heading into Friday. But tomorrow you'll definitely want to keep the umbrella on hand, because the showers are going to pick up and then stay through much of the morning and into the early afternoon. We stay cloudy through Thursday, but by Friday morning we clear on up. That clearing sky is going to help us drop quite a bit for our overnight lows heading into Friday. And by Friday afternoon, we still get a mostly sunny sky. Friday really shouldn't be too bad outside. Heading into Saturday and Sunday, actually, our future track looks nice and dry for the weekend. So we'll get a few days to enjoy some drier weather, a few days to try out after this rain event, because rainfall totals still on the high end here, anywhere from 1/2 of an inch, 3/4 of an inch. Some isolated areas may pick up close to an inch of accumulation. Right now, everything's pretty saturated. A lot of the rivers are full, so not necessarily a good thing to have such a big rain event coming through tonight and through much of the day on Thursday. So we'll be keeping a close eye on those water levels by the time the system wraps up Thursday night heading into Friday. Our overnight low of 40 is a little deceiving. We'll hit 40 degrees here in the next few hours, and then our temperatures are actually going to warm up overnight, and we'll hit our high temperature by tomorrow morning rather than in the afternoon. It's definitely going to become pretty windy outside. Our wind speeds anywhere from 15 to 20 miles per hour coming from the south-southeast. Again, our temperatures rise overnight. That lands us about 52 degrees in Madison, finally jumping above average. My floor crew's happy about that. A little windy outside, 15 to 25 miles per hour, still into the afternoon. Mild with temperatures in the low 50s early in the day, and then through the afternoon, those temperatures are going to fall. As you saw, the shift in our wind direction is really going to help facilitate that. Closer to about 54 along the state line, below 53, and then for Sun Prairie and Sauk City, a little closer to 50 degrees for those afternoon highs. We do have alert days in the forecast for Wednesday and for next Tuesday. So looking ahead through the weekend into next week very quickly. For travel plans around Turkey Day, it does look like we're going to have quite a system slide through for next Tuesday and Wednesday. That system may bring a little bit of rain and then some mix and then some light snow. The good news with afternoon highs, looking ahead to both days, it seems like those temperatures are going to climb above freezing, but we may see a little bit of snow accumulation on Wednesday as temperatures begin to fall and that system wraps on up. So those of you that will be hitting the roadways, I will be along with you. Maybe just a little messy on the roads heading into Thanksgiving. This system tonight, bringing quite a bit of rain. Then we get several days to dry on up. Mostly sunny Friday, partly sunny for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And the alert days for Tuesday and Wednesday are more due to the number of folks that'll be on the roads rather than the severity of that system coming through. It's really going to impact your commute. We all know that once more people get on the roads and it's rainy, things slow down a little bit.
And
Which
it's
isn't always a bad thing.
keep an eye on that. And it's a big storm, so it's going to affect air travel a lot.
Yes, it's covering a lot of the Midwest. So if you're trying to fly in and out of Madison or Milwaukee or even O'Hare, you want to keep a close eye on those travel plans.
Timing is everything.
Timing is everything. We still do have a little bit of time, so we'll be keeping an eye on that system over the weekend to try to hammer down that timing a little more.
It's a week away.
Yeah.
Hi, Dana, thank you.
Thank you, Dana.
Well, 60 years ago, Manitowoc, Wisconsin was busier than Santa's Toyland. The first evergleam aluminum trees were introduced in 1959.
To mark the milestone, the Wisconsin Historical Museum brought back its popular ever-gleaming exhibit. Doug Griffin shared the story of a true Wisconsin icon.
So, Doug, it all started here.
It started with this tree. This kind of tree from Modern Coatings out of Chicago, was spotted by a gentleman from Aluminum Specialty Company out of Manitowoc. They saw this tree, took a look at it, and said, I think we can do something with that. So they took the design, they took the patent, they bought it, and they developed this tree. This is one of the first trees from 1959, 60 years ago. Aluminum Specialty's first tree that the following year they branded as the Evergleam, which became the most popular aluminum tree in America. They sold millions of them.
I was going to say, how popular were they?
Millions upon millions. It was so popular, like Evergleam became to aluminum trees what Kleenex is to facial tissue.
Wow.
It became the shorthand for an aluminum Christmas tree.
So it started with this tree, but then it branched out into different sizes and styles
It
and
did.
colors.
As the years went by, it got more and more popular. They started adding different varieties. They added pinks and golds and greens. They added 4-foot trees, 2-foot trees, different branch styles, all kinds of things to just keep going with the popularity.
What captured the imagination of people so about these?
Well, they evoked a space-age quality. It was really popular in that mid-century modern style. They were clean. They were also marketed as a safety tree. You would light them with a color wheel, so there wasn't the chance of them catching on fire.
Yeah.
And they were something different. They weren't necessarily meant to be a replacement for a traditional Christmas tree. They were a different kind of holiday decoration, and they really appealed to people because of the shininess, the ease of packaging, the ease of assembly. They just felt right for the time.
In the beginning, they came like this. Now, that's a big box.
It was a very big box, this kind of clunky way of packaging and storing these. They only did this for the first year. The following year, they switched to a different method of packaging. These, the trees in the cardboard sleeves that would be stored in the box. These boxes were easy to get off the shelf at a hardware store, wherever someone was buying their Christmas decorations, made it easy to store, and was part of the packaging became the appeal of it, as they were doing the green and red packaging, that nice style as well.
When these came on the market, how much did they cost? Were they economical?
$20, $25.
Wow.
Yeah.
And now?
Now, if you go on eBay or Craigslist, you can find them for $500, $1,000, $1,500, depending on the style and the rarity.
They're very difficult to find, aren't they?
They are, especially now, yes. In the last 15 years, the popularity has really taken off.
And all different sizes.
Yeah, we've got a 2-foot tree over here. They came in silver, pink, green. We've got this gold one. This is one of our more popular ones. These were meant to go on a tabletop.
And different styles. The one right over here has a different branch, and it's sort of a little bit of a different
That's right.
sheen.
It's got this frosty finish, which catches the light in a slightly different way.
And this is the pom-pom.
That's the pom-pom. We've got another pom-pom over there. This is a spectacular tree. This is another one that was loaned to us for this exhibit. This blue-tipped, blue frost tree. Just gorgeous. That's why we put it up front in the gallery. It really catches people's eyes as they're coming into the museum.
Is it evergreen?
It's an evergreen. This is an evergreen, yes.
How popular is this exhibit?
This is a very popular exhibit. We've been bringing this one back over the last several years because people come in, they expect to see it, they want to sit down in the replica living room and have their pictures taken. They use them for they use them for Christmas
Have
cards.
an old-fashioned?
Oh, of course. Help yourself to an old-fashioned.
That's fantastic.
It is a fun exhibit.
They're beautiful,
They really
yeah.
are. The museum is open on Sundays through the holidays, and this exhibit is up until January 4th.
And it's free, just a suggested donation if you'd like to make a contribution.
Get in the holiday spirits.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be right back. Here's a live look at downtown Madison on this gray Wednesday, waiting for the rain later this evening. Well, you may have heard of radio stations giving away cash or concert tickets, but what about a baby?
A radio DJ in Cape Coral, Florida has made it his mission to help couples struggling with infertility. Jason Big Mama Jones started the Win a Baby contest, where couples get the chance to win a free round of in vitro fertilization.
Now, the first winners of that contest are celebrating the birth of their baby boy. Jerika Duncan has more.
It's crazy. Never ever thought that we would, win a baby, as they say. But
Krista and Anthony Rivera adore their newborn son, Garrett.
It was the first
Who would have thought he was the product of a radio contest the couple entered back in 2017?
I just kind of put our story together, told them how we met and how much we loved each other and how much we wanted a family and why we had to put those plans on hold.
The middle school teacher and the youth baseball coach had already been thinking about starting a family when they received some unexpected news.
2 to 3 months into the process is when we ended up finding out that I had testicular cancer.
After undergoing chemotherapy, Anthony was diagnosed with cancer a second time. That's when the doctors told the Riveras they would not be able to have children. So the couple decided to freeze a sample of Anthony's sperm.
It was hard enough to see my husband go through that and worry about the future with him, and then to know that we probably couldn't have children was just heart-wrenching.
You're waking up with Big Mama and the Wild Bunch.
That's where radio host Jason Big Mama Jones stepped in.
I always say I come in every morning to make miracles happen and make dreams come true. And that's what I feel like I did with this one.
Jones started the contest after he and his wife went through their own struggles with infertility and shared their story on social media.
Every shot that she took, every blood test, every doctor's appointment, we shared it all.
About 1 in 8 couples have trouble getting or sustaining a pregnancy, and the cost of treatment can be a problem. In the U.S., IVF can cost an average of $23,000 per cycle. In most cases, treatment is not covered by insurance.
You realize that if 1 in 8 people struggle, there are an enormous amount of people listening to me that are struggling with infertility that are probably going through the same process.
Congratulations, you are our Win a Baby winner.
The Riveras say they're grateful for the amount of people who've been cheering them on along the way.
It's nice to know that there's a beautiful support group out there, and they helped us get through it, and that's how we put one foot in front of the other.
What a picture-perfect couple that won this thing. I mean, you're talking about somebody that dedicated their life to kids and don't have any of their own. It's the most rewarding moment I've ever had in my entire life, not just in my career.
An update on Anthony's health. He is now in remission and will be 2 years cancer-free in January. The radio station plans on continuing the contest on a yearly basis. This year's Win a Baby contest winners are undergoing IVF right now and hope to start their family soon. Jerika Duncan, CBS News, New York.
What a great story.
Big Mama Jones doing something good.
Doing something good. Well, there's more to come at 4. It's the first big auto show of the year, the LA Auto Show, and our auto expert, HARVEY Briggs, is there.
We talked with Harvey earlier today. He'll have some of the highlights of the show when Live at 4 continues.
No accidents to report right now, which is always a good thing, though on the Beltline. Oh, just a little slow right now. East and westbound, at least moving. Here's a look right at Park Street. A lot of lights, a lot of cars on the road, headlights on because sunset just a few minutes ago. Headlights are going to be necessary for the rest of the evening. You can see those delays stretching all the way back almost to Gammon through Park Street. Things pick back up just fine though around 51, and then of course the interstate is looking all good. The westbound side slows down though near Park Street and then starts to pick back on up. Downtown on the Isthmus, things a little slow around the Capitol Square, but then around the rest of the area, not too bad of a drive this evening. Janesville, we're seeing more folks get on the roads. No accidents again, but you can see downtown just a few delays of stop and go spots. And the interstate should be smooth all the way down to the state line. Now from Janesville to the Beltline, just about 25 minutes from Sauk City to Middleton. It'll take you 17 minutes this evening, and some parade to downtown, just getting about a minute longer, about 17 minutes this evening as well. That's a quick look at traffic.
All right, Dana, thank you. The year's first big auto show, the LA Auto Show, opens this week. More than 1,000 vehicles are on display.
Our own Harvey Briggs was on the floor there, and earlier today we talked with Harvey about some of the highlights of this year's show.
So Harvey Briggs is in Los Angeles at the car show, and you get in front of one of the most exciting cars being displayed this year.
Yes, I am, Mark. This is the new Ford Mustang Mach-E. This is an all-electric crossover, and they're calling it a Mustang because it has incredible performance. It really does perform like a Mustang. You've got 0 to 60 in under 3.5 seconds in the GT version of it. You've got this huge touchscreen on the interior. The interior materials are all vegan, and you've got this frunk up front that you can use as an ice box if you want. I rode in it. It handles great. Hopefully we're going to be driving it soon. It goes on sale in the fall. You can pre-order them right now, and the pricing starts at about $48,000 for this car, which for an all-electric car like this competes very well with the Tesla. We've got a lot of electric. That's really the theme here in LA, is electric and performance. So next up is the Toyota RAV4 plug-in hybrid. So you've got about 40 miles of all-electric range on this, 302 horsepower. This is the second fastest Toyota now behind the Supra. It'll go 0 to 60 in a little over 5 seconds, which is kind of crazy for a RAV4. But it's got everything you want in that Toyota, you know, all the safety systems, all that. It's the prime plug-in RAV4. So, yeah, it's electric, electric, electric. And next up, we've got the Hyundai Ioniq Electric. They have updated this car now for 2020. Range is up to 170 miles. Charge time is down to under an hour, up to 80%. And the car itself didn't change pricing at all. So again, more electric, more affordable, more utility. That's really the theme, and it's coming on here.
We often see concept cars at these shows. You got one for us?
Yeah, this is the Acura Type S concept. Look at this blue. This is called Double Apex Blue Pearl, and it's just an incredible color. They haven't given specifics on the engine yet, but we think we're talking about a twin-turbo hybrid, kind of like the NSX in this thing. It's coming out next year, and Acura tells us that the final version of this concept is not going to look very different from what's here on the floor in LA.
Very dramatic looking.
I love that blue. Love it.
Double Apex Blue. All right, what else you got?
It's not all luxury and sports and performance. We do have some straight-ahead stuff. So the Nissan's out with a new Sentra. This is a really nice update to their compact sedan. It looks, styling-wise, much more like the Maxima or the Altima. Very sleek. Updated interiors. Again, everything's getting all the technology now. So you have the surround cameras, you have all the good stuff, and its pricing is going to be, again, fairly similar to what it is this year.
Speaking of pricing, how about the other end of the spectrum?
Yeah, let's go all the way. You know how much we love that Lexus LC500? Well, now they've got it in a convertible version. Look at this, Susan. This is your car, I think. Just gorgeous color. The interior top comes down in under 15 seconds. It's got that Lexus luxury throughout. And now in Lexus, you can get Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and Alexa integration in all three 471 horsepower. What's not to like about that Lexus?
We can all dream, yes. Fantasy car.
6 figures.
Yeah, now we're going to go a little bit the other way and alternative fuels because Toyota is launching their new Mirai. This is a hydrogen fuel cell vehicle, and it's completely redesigned to look a little more traditional, not so space age as the previous version. They're not available in Madison yet, but the hydrogen technology is really interesting because it's all electric, zero emission. You can refill the hydrogen tank in 5 minutes. It's just infrastructure that needs to be built out. And once that happens, this might be a really interesting option to battery electric vehicles.
Speaking of battery electric, you got a big SUV?
Yes, we do. The Lincoln Corsair Grand Touring. This is a plug-in hybrid as well, and it has about 40 miles of all-electric range on it. It's very high-end luxury for Lincoln. You know, they launched the Aviator last year. Now they've got this Corsair, which is that compact SUV. Great luxurious interior, all the tech features, really amazing sound system in this vehicle. It's a high-end Harman Kardon system, and really it just sounds amazing. You know, trucks are big in California as well as the Midwest, and Nissan has the new Titan pickup. The standard engine in this is a V8, so it is the most powerful base pickup truck you can buy. Lots of great capability.
Finally, Motor Trend's Car of the Year.
Yeah, that's right. Motor Trend Car of the Year is the Corvette C8 this year, the new mid-engine Corvette. It's available in a convertible version like this, as well as the coupe version. 495 horsepower is standard in this car, and this car is quicker on the track than the outgoing Z06, which had 650 horsepower. So really incredible job re-engineering this car for this new generation.
Kid in the candy shop.
Big time.
Harvey Briggs in Los Angeles. Thanks for the tour, Harvey.
All right, thank you guys. We'll see you soon.
Wow, electric cars are really the future.
It is the future, obviously. And the show opens to the public, the auto show, on Friday, runs for a couple of weeks. Harvey will come down off cloud 9
I was just going to
eventually.
say, what an assignment for him.
Yeah, it's great. All right, thank you, Harvey, and we'll be right back with a final check of your forecast. All right. Dry for now.
Dry for now. We'll count a few more hours, and then the rain is going to pick back up, unfortunately. Now, it's been mostly cloudy today. The fog, of course, out of here early this morning. Here's a live look with our WISC-TV sky cam. Yeah, we actually have had a few little moments of some sun and some light bursting through, and then it just quickly goes away. Of course, sunset was just a little bit ago, and we are looking at a mostly cloudy night tonight. Temperatures have already dropped a little bit in Madison. We were at 45 a minute ago. Now we're at 44, close to 49 in Boscoville, down about 45 still in Janesville. As we look over the next 12 hours, we're in for a little bit of an interesting temperature trend. Overnight lows are going to happen right around 8, 9 o'clock. Now, usually our overnight lows are closer to about 5, 6 in the morning. In fact, just before sunrise. But tonight, we're going to drop to our lowest temperatures well before midnight, and then temperatures are actually going to steadily climb after midnight, because we have our next system moving on in, and that system is going to bring these rain chances developing for us. These showers will start to pick up right around midnight. Will be the low 40s. Tomorrow morning, we'll hit our high temperature around 10 o'clock. Showers still coming through for your drive into work, and then through the afternoon, temps are going to fall. Plan on about 52 degrees early in the day. And then things cool down in the afternoons. A big change of pace to be in the low 50s. That's just our system for the next few days. This weekend looks dry. I do want to flash forward real quick to Tuesday and Wednesday. That's our next opportunity for rain, and unfortunately, that's a big travel day for a lot of folks. So this is next Tuesday and Wednesday ahead of Thanksgiving. A big system's going to come in, bringing rainfall during the day on Tuesday. Might mix with a little bit of snow at night when temperatures fall. Wednesday, we might see a little bit of snow accumulation. This right now doesn't look like a major system, but it is going to bring quite a bit of precipitation. And with that rain, temperatures will be above freezing during Tuesday, and we'll hop above freezing briefly on Wednesday. So we'll be keeping a close eye on the timing of those temperature changes, because that's going to tell the story again with those accumulation totals looking towards Thanksgiving. But we have a little bit of time still, and again, a really nice weekend ahead. So grab the umbrella tomorrow and then enjoy the sunshine for Friday.
Very good. Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right, Dana, thank you.
Dana.
Tomorrow here on Live at 4, we'll find out what's happening in the 608 this weekend.
And how is President Trump polling in Wisconsin? We'll run down the latest numbers of the Marquette Law School poll that was just released today. That's coming up tomorrow on Live at 4.